Good morning, everybody. As promised, I wanted to give you an update of where we find ourselves with distance learning since COVID-19 and the quarantine situation. If you are not familiar or have not heard, I think they did a countywide call out and an email blast to everybody to let you know, but we are using a remote distance learning format similar to virtual school, but we'll be using the Microsoft Teams platform. It has an app. You can get the app also. The app is very user-friendly. If you have not used Microsoft Teams, it's very similar to Zoom. It has a few more capabilities than Zoom because you can upload and share Google Documents and digital documents and things from the cloud. So actually, in my opinion, it's a wise decision that the county made because we already have Office 365 linked up to your account through ClassLink, and it's something that you're probably familiar with, even if you haven't used it that much, because it is a Google-based platform that's very user-friendly. So all of the teachers in Santa Rosa County, from kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade, are using the same platform. So it's something that you need to familiarize yourself with, and for the time being, what we know for sure will avoid speculation because things can change from day to day or hour to hour, and as we already know, they've changed a bunch of times, and so there are things that are being spread around that may not be true, and there are things that have been spread around that probably are accurate. So the official word is that the school district of Santa Rosa County is hoping to be back in school on campus with all the students and teachers April the 15th. That is the plan. And I can't speculate on the optimistic level of that or how realistic it is, but that is the plan at this point. So unless something changes and the school district is instructed either by the governor or the county or the state of Florida Department of Education, the plan is to be back on campus April 15th. So where that leaves us in AP Psychology is there's a few unknowns that we have to look at, especially in an AP class or a College Board class. We have the added component of the AP exam, which is going to be in a very different format this year, and it's going to cause some people a little bit of stress to think about, and I'm going to talk you through that in just a minute. But how it works is that gives us 2 weeks as a county to plan for remote learning, which means that for us, that would be one chapter. So we have 2 chapters left in our textbook. We have chapter 8, which is motivation, and we have chapter 11, which is intelligence. And so we're gonna start with chapter 8 or unit 8 in your textbook, and I'll show you what that kind of looks like. So we're gonna plan for the next 2 weeks to work remotely using Teams. And I'm gonna try to keep it as similar to the same layout or format for the chapter as far as the structure is concerned. So before we get into the schedule of that and what you can expect on your end, I'll give you some kind of frequently asked questions, if you will. All of the work or assignments that are being submitted on Teams from all of your teachers and all of your courses, those are things that you're gonna do at home on your own and submit them back to your teachers by uploading them into Teams or typing on them if they're Google documents. And that information is gonna be saved. Your teachers are gonna save that information, and they're gonna hold on to that in case at a future date that the county needs those assignments to calculate your 4th quarter grades. At the present time, all of this information that's being used in the next 2 weeks is not going to be calculated as a grade, not at this point. It may be used retroactively later to calculate towards your grade, and I don't know what that'll look like, if it's a pass-fail or how it works. So I would advise you, obviously, to work your way through the curriculum in all of your classes, but this information is not going to be graded because there's no way to ensure the integrity of the assignment, the validity of the assignment, or whether or not you were even the person who did the assignment. So for all intents and purposes, what gets assigned over the next 2 weeks from now until April 15th is for enrichment purposes. So for us, I'm going to structure the chapter and break it down into modules. If you already know, our textbooks are broken into units, and those units are broken down into sections that David Myers calls modules. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film lectures I guess TED Talk style, if you want to look at it that way. But I'm going to keep them module specific. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a study guide for chapter 8. I'm going to post the study guide on Teams as a Google Doc, but I'm also going to post the link to the website, which you are not required to find it there. Some of you are creatures of habit. I know we didn't have study guides in the third 9 weeks, but I'm going to go ahead and create one for chapter 8. I'm going to post it in both places. It's going to be in Teams, and it's also going to be on my website. If we get past that April 15th date and it becomes clear that we're going to have to do our final chapter, which will be chapter 11, we'll do it in the same format, and we'll just continue on with the same process. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So chapter 8 will be posted as a study guide. The lecture videos will be somewhere between 30 and 50 minutes probably, and they will be specific to each module. And my assignment to you will be for you to do the questions that go with that module that follow along with the lecture, and then we'll do them kind of module at a time or section at a time. If you don't have access to the internet wherever you're at, if you can't access the videos, then you can just follow along in your textbook, which is the same information. So the videos I will post to YouTube. It's just the easiest way to get them out there rather than Teams, and I will send the links to the videos